Hi, Tuesday night yin yoga, gentle flow. Thanks for joining. My name is Chua. Specifically today, you'll want to have a strap or some object like it. And then of course, on the side, the more pillows, the better, because you'll have more options. Today we had a request for releasing the neck, the lower back. Did I forget the other thing? Oh, hip openers. So let's begin in any comfortable seat. Maybe you put your pelvis on top of a pillow or a block. If you're feeling any tightness in your hips, by elevating the pelvis, you can help to release your knees more comfortably if you're crossing your legs. So Monday's class, we began our revisit of understanding, as the Yoga Sutra explains, the Yoga Sutras explain, the 5 roots or causes of suffering that get in the way of inner peace. Such an important thing to understand so that we can become more aware, as the author I read from, Adam, last Monday, differentiates between pain and suffering, saying that pain is often inevitable, but suffering is optional. There's a Yoga Sutra 2.1, and it says obstacles, kleshas, that's the Sanskrit word, are the breeding ground for tendencies, samskaras, those ingrained habits that give rise to actions and the consequences, or karma, thereof. Such obstacles are experienced as visible or invisible obstacles. So we talked about the 5 roots of suffering being ignorance, egoism, attachment to bodily life, aversion, having repulsion towards things you don't like, and the fear of death. Today I want to go a little deeper into that first one, because as many articles say, it is the underlying root for the rest, and that is avidya. Here's an article from Yoga Matters that gives a little more light on what avidya is. It refers to lack of knowledge or misunderstanding, misconception, or lack of spiritual knowledge. The article says each of us has a perception of what the world is like, made up of our past experiences, expectations, and what we believe, meaning that each of us has virtually created our own realities, which could be entirely different from each other. Yet we attempt to coexist in harmony. When afflicted by avidya, we believe that our thoughts are true, that our perceptions are reality, and that what we individually believe is right is the truth. This lack of knowledge and wisdom is the most difficult to overcome, not because there's so much to learn, but because there's so much to unlearn and let go of. Have you ever had a belief that maybe you held since childhood, that as you became older and more aware of yourself, you let go of because you realize that that conception is no longer valid? And in unlearning that belief, how did it feel like? Was there some sense of clarity, the relief of an epiphany? Well, that is the action of peeling the layers or the veils of illusion that is avidya. Perhaps finding a more grounded sense of freedom, inner freedom, to be yourself truly. So avidya is the mistaken notion that there is no distinction between purusha, or spiritual consciousness, and prakriti, or material consciousness. The yogi ignorantly takes what is fleeting, evanescent, and ephemeral as permanent, eternal, and everlasting, or what is impure as pure, what is pain as happiness, and what is not the self as the self. That's according to embodied philosophy. So if we awaken to our true nature, Satnam, that which us yogis believe is eternally good, that is beyond the body and the mind. We awaken to that, there would be no room for egoism, attachment, aversion, and nothing left to fear, according to yogi times. Yogis believe that there is a calm, peaceful, and pure awareness residing deep within all beings. And by ridding ourselves of our kleshas, these obstacles, we are able to clearly see the reality of the world and to let our true nature shine brightly. That's according to Yoga Basics. So as we delve into what we might hold within our physical bodies, knowing that there's so much relation between what we think, what we physically feel, we can unlock the wisdom of our bodies to help unleash stuck energy, emotional stress, mental stress, and then perhaps have a sense of ease in sitting at the end of our physical practice, becoming more aware of our mind stuff and where we might tend to direct our focus. So now let's come down into child's pose. We're going to take a supported version of child's pose. So grab your pillows maybe, and we're going to straddle the pillow, laying it to trace the midline of your mat like this. You might even have your towel draped over. You might even have a block towards the front end to set your forehead on top. So as you straddle that pillow, let your feet come together to touch. Use as much support under your belly as you need. So even if you want to fold that pillow a little bit thicker, set something to place your head on top so that your neck can feel relaxed. And then allow your shoulders to release away from your neck, placing your hands where they can be comfortable and not doing anything, not trying to hold anything up. So adjust your props accordingly and feel the gentle pressure of your forehead against the object. Bringing your attention to the physical area of your third eye energy center. As we've talked about in the past, about the 7 main energy centers, the third eye or 6th energy center relates to our ability to see more clearly. To be able to shed delusions, perhaps beliefs imposed by culture, by the outside world. And to trust our inner knowing. Observing your body in this position. Observe the way in which your breath flows in and out of it. As the breath carries life force with it, in and out, circulating. What is the quality of that movement? And while physical postures can help to release unstuck energy physically, we know that they can also affect us energetically, especially when we focus the mind on something relatable, like clarity. And if you haven't already, And deepen your breath. So as you slowly inhale, you feel your belly expand and press against the object under it. You feel the four walls of your rib cage gently expand like a balloon. And as you exhale, you can hear your breath whisper through your mouth, all the way out to silence, to empty, clearing space for the next deeper inhalation to ease its way, filling up your torso, perhaps even down into your pelvic floor. And up to the crown of your head. Hear the exhalation. And now as you close your lips, continue to breathe deeply and evenly. Hear your breath by gently narrowing the back of your throat. Let the rhythmic sound waves of your breathing gift your mind something to help steady its awareness in the presence. Allowing for 2 more deep cycles of breath here in supported child's pose, Balasana. Then slowly walk your hands back closer to your knees. And as you press the ground away, tuck your chin towards your chest. And with a long inhalation, roll your spine upright carefully, lifting your head last. And now let's take blocks. We're gonna make a little stool that we can place between your ankles so that you can sit in a supported Virasana, the shins on the ground. So the blocks can be as high as you need in between your ankles to alleviate a deep bend in your knees, if you need to do that. Or they can be as low as you need. Perhaps even no blocks, where you sit right on top of your heels. Do what's most comfortable, as we'll be here for a little bit, warming up the shoulders. So reach for your strap. Have your knees no wider apart than your hips distance. And then take hold of your strap between your hands, resting the strap on your lap. Separate your hands wider than your shoulders distance. Have a tight hold on the strap so it's not loose in between. And as you keep your elbows straight, draw your shoulder head slightly behind your ears and then down, lifting up to your crown. Feel the length of your lower back as you gently press your belly towards it. And then sitting tall, as you inhale, slowly raise your arms overhead while keeping your shoulders down away from your neck. And as you exhale slowly, lower your arms all the way behind you and down. If that's difficult to do, try walking your hands further apart. Inhale your arms up. And exhale forward and down. And that's it. Several more cycles of breath. So adjust the space between your hands if needed. If you're not feeling much of warming up your shoulders, you could walk your hands closer together. Notice as you continue to move to your own pace of breath, if you tend to be flexible in your lower back, perhaps your front ribs are protruding a little more forward as you raise the arms. Be mindful of keeping your front ribs sealed inward towards your back body. allowing your spine to fully lengthen. Let's take 3 more cycles of breath. Nice. And then from here, place your hands onto your lower back with your fingertips pointing downward. And then with the heels of your palms, encourage the tops of your glutes to release towards the earth, right where it meets the lower back. And then as you do that, continue to firm your belly gently towards your spine and lift your back ribs away from the heels of your palms as you continue to press the glutes down. Then inhale, broaden your collarbones, draw the shoulder heads back and down, and then start to lift up through the center of your chest, your sternum. Now, those of you back bendy people, seal in the bottom of your front ribs as you do this. Now imagine you're holding a big apple between your chin and chest as you start to gaze up. So as to lengthen the back of your neck. Sliding the shoulder blades down your back, just take 3 more breaths here. Now feel your elbows bending closer together as you broaden your collarbones. One more deep inhalation. Feel the side walls of your rib cage expand. And exhale, let that go. So let's remove the blocks if you're sitting on and come down to the floor as we prepare for a little movement before a spinal twist. So if you were crossing your legs in the beginning, notice what leg tends to be in front or on top, and switch it up. So you can switch up, stretch in the hips. Press down on your thighs and then start to rotate your spine forward as you breathe in, back as you breathe out. Nice and slow, Sufi rolls. Inhale and exhale. Take a few more in this direction and then change directions. Change the size of the circles. Maybe even try for figure 8s, allowing a little rotation in your shoulders too, a little twist and swerve. All the while attuning to the sound of your breathing. Finishing at center, extend your left leg forward and then step your right foot just in front of your right hip. Hold on to that shin for a moment with both hands and flex. As you press your 2 sitting bones down, visualize breathing up your spine from the base, from the pelvic floor, and restacking each vertebra, creating a little more space between as you lift through the top of your head. Chin parallels the floor. Feel the back of your neck long. Now keep lengthening with each inhalation. Backstroke your right hand to the floor just behind your pelvis. And now as you exhale, start to rotate your rib cage, turning your chest to your right side. Keep breathing in and lengthening by pressing the ground. Now feel your belly gently press towards your spine as you breathe out, perhaps allowing more room to deepen the spinal twist. If you feel ready for it, use your left elbow to hook the outside of your right thigh and add some more leverage to this twist. We're going for about 7 more deep breaths. Now, especially if you're hooking your elbow, notice if you're beginning to shrug your shoulders like I was, and then draw your shoulders down and continue to broaden your chest. Now observe the muscles in your face. Let them consciously release. As you finish this exhalation, slowly unravel your spine and then drop your right knee open. Bring the sole of your right foot high onto the inside of your left thigh. Now, actually, let's turn out the left leg just a little bit more so we have a little more twist in this forward fold we're about to do. So now your right heel is about in front of your pelvis. Take as many pillows or blocks as you have to be nearby for support. You're going to place the pillow on top of your left thigh, close to your torso. You might even want a towel here. You might even want a block. So get ready for as many props as you might need. And then just take a moment to sit up taller. Feel both sides of your pelvis ground. Frame your left leg with your two hands. And now at your waistline, twist to your left, the opposite direction of our earlier twist. Press your shoulder blades down, lift up through the crown of your head, breathing in. And then exhale as you continue to twist, start to fold in the direction of your left leg so that you're leaning into the support of your pillow, maybe adjusting the block to the height you need so that you're not closing off your throat as you land your forehead on the block. So here we have a bit of a twist, a hip opener, a forward fold, and lengthening into the left hamstring. Feel your breath in. Relaxing your body into the support of the props and the ground as you breathe out. Invite the rotation of your chest to face your left leg. As you relax your shoulders back and downward. You're going to be here for about 2.5 more minutes. Looking in the mouth and tongue, or any parts of your body that you know you might tend. Allow 2 more breaths. When you finish, very gradually press the ground away and roll your spine slowly upright. Put the props aside, but nearby we're going to first start with our upright twist before second side of this, head to knee pose. Start with both legs straight forward and just give your feet some movement. Rotate them at your ankles. Switch direction. Maybe even gently shake out your legs or massage them out. And then let's set up for the seated twist. Step your left foot in front of your left hip. Hold on to the shin with both hands. And as you firm both of your sitting bones down, flex your right foot. And imagine breathing from the base of your spine up, slowly restacking each vertebra, like you're building a building, lifting to your crown. Your shoulders slightly roll back and down as you broaden your chest. Feel the support of the earth as you continue to lengthen your spine, and then backstroke your left hand onto the floor behind your pelvis. Continue to breathe in to lengthen, and now as you breathe out, begin to turn your chest to face your left wall. I'm mirroring you here. Now you could continue to hold your shin with your right hand or explore adding the leverage of hooking your right elbow outside of your left thigh. Be mindful of softening your shoulders down and broadening your chest, lengthening your neck. Invite deep breaths, using your exhalations to hollow your belly, offering more room for your torso to deepen the twist. We've got about 7 more breaths here. And when you finish, onto your 7th exhalation, gently unravel your spine. Splay open your left knee and bring the sole of your left foot against high inside of your right thigh. Open up your right leg, more than 90 degrees if that's possible. And let's take your props, place your pillow on top of your right thigh against your torso. Maybe a towel closer to your torso, and then your block for your head. And then from here, sit up tall, from down through both sides of your pelvis. Take a deep breath, and then exhale, rotate your chest, planting your 2 hands to frame your right leg. Again, press into the floor, breathe and lift through the center of your spine, open your chest. Continue to twist, and then lower your belly onto the towel or pillow and begin to lower. Adjust the block so that your neck feels natural. You're not closing your throat. You're able to relax your shoulders down your back. While initially in these deeper stretch type of yin postures, the body might still be holding on, allowing more time. We can practice deep breaths and patience and loving encouragement. We've got 2.5 more minutes. Just catch your attention wandering, just smiling to your inner self, having noticed. Soften back into the sound of your breath. Now allow your body to breathe for 2 more cycles in this position. Before you press the ground away and very gradually lift your torso up. Put your props aside, but still in reachable distance. And then extend your legs forward again. This time, you might roll your point and flex your feet. As you place your hands behind your pelvis, you're able to lean back slightly, bend your knees, and step your feet apart a little wider than your hips distance, so that your knees are just as wide apart as your feet. Take a deep breath here, and then exhale, gently drop both knees to your right side. Inhale, lift the knees up. Exhale, drop both knees to your left side. And then try that for a few more breaths. So as your left knee falls to the right, allow the left hip just to rise gently, naturally away from the floor. Finish one more round on both sides. And then come back to center. So we're going to set it for a variation of Baddha Konasana, in which we bring the soles of your feet together, slide your heels as far away from your pelvis as you can keep the soles of your feet together. If you're feeling discomfort here and want some support for your outer thighs, grab whatever you can to stuff right underneath your outer thighs, preferably even in height on both sides. Your hips to even. And then take your pillow or pillows and place them right on your lap, right against your belly. And here's where you'll need to experiment with stacking your pillows. Again, the higher, the more option you have to rest on, or stacking your blocks. It's okay to round the back slightly, but you don't want to feel like you're congesting your neck and shoulders like this. Just a slight rounding that's natural, where you can still open your throat. And then fold forward, resting, again, your forehead on your block or blocks. And if you feel any discomfort here, make any adjustments with your props. Just a slight shift in height can make a world of difference as you hold this posture for 3 minutes. So again, tune into your breath flow. Feel that your arms are just hanging freely, supported by the ground or an object, maybe your body. Relax your fingers, rest your wrists. Allow the props to support your body rather than you trying to hold your body up. Physically, this posture, as you might already feel, helps to broaden across your lower back, opening your sacrum. Helps to open up your hips, inner thighs. Forward folds generally help to open up the back area of the body in general. As you continue to feel your breath flow, feel the center of your forehead making contact with the object beneath it. Feeling that gentle pressure around the pineal gland area. The color associated with the sixth chakra, the third eye energy center, is indigo. Sort of a blue-violet deep color. If you are more of a visual learner, you might find it beneficial to imagine an indigo light flowing like your breath in and out through your third eye region. And with that light, a warm feeling of self-assurance that whatever challenge might exist in your life today, you have the ability to overcome it. Allowing your breath to guide you gently. Press your hands into the floor and slowly roll your spine upright. So let's put the props aside for a moment. We're gonna come into, you might want to grab your strap for this, a wide stance, standing so that you're using your mat wide ways. Coming up so that your feet are generously wider than your hips distance. You might want blocks in front of you, but we are going to have the hands behind our back. Whether you're holding a strap between your hands, supporting your shoulders, or you're interlacing your fingers. And if so, try to hug the heels of your palms together like this. Spreading your toes, bend your knees, firming the front muscles of your thighs for support and balance. Then bend your elbows closer together and take a deep breath as you lift and broaden your chest. Lengthen your spine, tilting a little more weight towards the balls of your feet as you exhale to bow. Allowing your head to be heavy. Feel the weight of your own brain as you turn it upside down. Deep breaths here as you stretch your arms forward, moving away from your lower back. Allow the bend in your elbows to help lift the bones of your shoulders to rise away from your neck. If you feel inspired, gently move your head in different ways and explore the feeling of freedom, mobility, and space within your cervical spine. Going upside down like this is a great way to literally shift your perspective. But energetically, it feels to unstuck energy flow. Or if you're feeling mentally foggy, it's just a nice way to shift that around. Let's take about 5 more breaths upside down here. If you like, switch the interlacing of your fingers or lower your hands onto the ground or onto objects that are even in height. Still allowing your head to hang freely as your shoulders rise, lengthening your spine as you feel your sitting bones rise. Feel the support of your legs, bending your knees as much as it allows freedom in your spine. Now let's lower the hands if they're not already on the ground or on block. Start to walk your hands over to your left leg. Maybe you catch hold of your outer calf with one hand. And just lean your head towards your left shin. Relax the shoulders up away from your neck. Just a few breaths here. And slowly walk your hands through center, reaching over for your right calf, maybe with your right hand or both hands. As you lean closer to your right calf, lift the shoulders, free up your neck. Deep breath. Then come back through center. Crawl your fingertips forward and slowly lift your spine just halfway up, parallel to the floor. Pause here for a few breaths, and perhaps you bend your knees to encourage the feeling of a flat back. A little firmness in the belly as you continue to draw the crown of your head forward and slide your shoulder blades back away from your neck. Broaden your chest as you look at the ground ahead. For just about 3 breaths. So we've been upside down for quite a bit. We don't want to rise up too quickly as it can make us feel lightheaded. So we're just gradually making our way up. From here, bend your knees a lot and bring your hands to your hips, leading with your chest with a firm belly. Slowly rise as you breathe in. Nice, and then let's come down on hands and knees, all fours. We're gonna take a few slow cat-cows. So if you'd like to stretch your inner wrists and forearms too, spin out your fingertips, whether they face the outer edges of your mat or to some degree towards your knees. So with your wrists just about under your shoulders, step your knees back slightly behind your hips so that you have more space to move your torso around. As you inhale, glide your spine forward before coiling your chest up, rolling your shoulders down into cow pose. As you exhale, first contract your belly. Feel your tailbone tuck under your body as you drop your skull, rounding into cat pose. Keep going. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Then coil your chest up, releasing the shoulders behind you and down. Exhale, lift your navel between your knees as you tuck your tailbone down. Taking a few more cycles of breath on your own. Whether you continue with cat-cow, change up your hands, maybe move more organically, perhaps circle your pelvis laterally, sides, forward and back. And all these circular movements, helping to lubricate various joints in your body. many joints of your spine, your wrists, your shoulders, your knees. And as you feel ready, from your hands and knees, point your elbows behind you and lower your chin to the ground before sliding your belly and pelvis lying down, face down. Now with your legs straight back, separate your ankles about hip width apart and parallel your legs and feet, pointing your toes firmly against the ground. Crawl your fingertips outside of your mat onto the floor in line with your shoulders so that you can bend your elbows apart. Then as you breathe in, firm your pelvis on the floor and begin to coil your chest up, rolling the shoulders behind you. As you breathe out, rotate your right shoulder further back and look over it. Inhale, look forward, press both shoulders down. Exhale, rotate your left shoulder back and look behind it. And then keep going for a few more cycles of breath. Feel the rotation of your shoulder blades sliding in circles across your back ribs. Like you're giving yourself a massage in the inner scapula region between the shoulder blades. Common area to carry tension. Feel free to move your head and maybe softly shake your head no, or slowly circle your head. Feel that your breath is still flowing evenly and deeply. And then from here, come to the center and crawl your fingertips a little more forward than in line with your shoulders. Point your elbows behind you so you hug them a little closer to your sides, though they're still wide apart. Mine are outside of the mat. Do what's comfortable for you. The tops of your feet firmly into the ground, and then roll your shoulder heads back as you begin to peel your chest off the floor. Lower belly stays on the ground. Slide your shoulder blades down and take a deep in breath to smile your collarbones wider apart. Keep growing your chest forward and broadly as you relax the shoulders down. Take a few more breaths in this very wide armed version of Cobra. Then let's come into Sphinx pose. Place your elbows on the ground just slightly in front of each shoulder. Forearms parallel, palms face down. Drawing your shoulder heads back, keep breathing your collarbones wide open. Slightly lifting your sternum, feel your pubic bone firmly grounded. Feel your legs actively lengthening towards the wall behind you as you press every toenail against the earth. All of that offering support to lengthen your lower spine. Pressing your shoulder blades down your back. From here, you might want to have a block nearby. Let's bend the right elbow out to the right, so it's a 90-degree bend, like an L shape. Palm face down, and then block just to the right of your right ear on the floor. Then with the left hand pressing the floor beside your left shoulder, begin to roll onto your right hip very slowly so that your right ear can lean on that block, and you can adjust the block. Maybe it needs to be further to the right. And then keeping that L shape of your right arm, slide your right forearm slightly more to the right so that you're not leaning on top of your shoulder joint exactly. but you're helping to broaden the right side of your chest. Now, you might not lean completely on your right side if that feels a bit much. You might be more diagonal, where your right shin is still against the floor. Take your time. I'm going to set a timer here for 2 more minutes on this side before we switch. Let your right shoulder blades soften down your back and away from your neck. And within these 2 minutes of breathing with patient, loving kindness into your body, just observe how your body responds. If it's available to you, you might step your left foot behind you on the floor. This variation of opening the fronts of the shoulders, as you know, is a bit different than the usual one, where we straighten the right arm out to the side. So the range of motion might be different. Let go of any need to compare how your body is in one pose or the other. Full breaths, helping expand your chest. Use your exhalations to feel release and softening anywhere in your body you could use it. Very slowly begin to unravel from this side to lie face down at center. You might place your arms down by your sides and just allow a moment to pause as the center of your forehead leans on the earth. Allow a deep breath in, and then open your mouth on this exhalation. Clear that out. All right, let's transfer the block to land just outside of your left ear. Bend your left elbow out to your left side so that you create a 90-degree angle, left palm face down. Place your right hand on the floor beside your right shoulder and begin to press the ground away with it as you place your left ear onto that block, adjusting where that block needs to comfortably support you. Now, as you start to roll over onto your left side, pause, and you may need to slide your left forearm a little closer to the left wall so that you're not leaning directly onto your left shoulder, but you're allowing the inner shoulder to splay open. Soften your left shoulder blade down your back and lengthen the left side of your neck. And then again, I'm setting the timer for 2 minutes. Slowly begin to roll onto your stomach, returning face down, arms by your sides. A few breaths to pause and just observe the effects on both sides. And place your hands on the ground alongside your floating ribs. And gently lift your body up to hands and knees so that you can slide your legs in front of you to sit. We've come to our setup for Shavasana. Let's do that very mindfully to offer the most comfort and relaxation. So if you're having any need to relieve your lower back of any sort of stiffness, take one of your pillows or your rolled up towel and place it across your mat underneath the backs of your knees, separating your feet generously wider than your hips. Let your legs fall naturally. Now, if you're feeling the need to open up the chest a bit more, you could use your 2 blocks. A supported heart opener could be 1 block tallest height under the back of your skull. Second block medium height crossing your mat so that you can lay back and land on that lower block just beneath the bottom tips of your shoulder blades, which allows your chest to lift and open as your shoulders release down in the space between the blocks. And by turning your palms to face up, whatever posture you're in, you can allow the shoulders to further open. Backs of your arms resting on the ground, slightly away from your torso. And then closing your eyes when you arrive in the position you choose for Shavasana, feel your left and right hips. Do they feel equally weighed down, equally supported? Make any adjustments if not. Feel your left and right ankles. Do they feel symmetrical in weight and turnout? Relax the muscles in your legs and soften your feet. Now feel your left and right shoulders. You feel symmetry in the way they hang loose. Clear away from your neck, allowing openness in your chest. Both arms resting completely. As you feel the natural curve of your neck, let your head be fully supported. Relax the muscles in your face, even your scalp. Now, as you close your eyes, imagine your third eye center region, that indigo light color. Imagine inhaling from there and slowly filling up all ends of your body with that breath, that indigo color. Now, as you exhale, your body softens deeper into rest. Now let go of controlling your breath. Allow your body to be still. Rest in pure awareness. Entering our last 2 minutes in meditation, feel free to stay in the position you're lying in, or if you prefer, gently lift your body upright to sit. In this meditation of remembering, realigning to our inner being or true nature as peace, invite you to feel your natural breath in and out. Visualizing the inhale begin at the base or bottom of your spine and rising up your spine to your crown. Then your exhale descends from your crown down your spine to the base of your pelvis. Continue to see the rise and fall of your breath, perhaps imagining the indigo color. And now with your breath, we'll add an internal chant, a mantra. As you breathe in, say to yourself, I am. As you breathe out, say to yourself, in your own meaningful way, pure awareness. If you have other words that resonate more with you, feel free to replace them. Inhale up the spine, I am. The exhale down the spine, pure awareness. Begin to deepen your breath, feeling the objects physically supporting your body, the ground perhaps supporting your body. If you're lying down, ease your way through simple movements, gentle stretches, into gradually lifting up to sit. Joining your palms to meet at your heart in salutation, connection between your inner being and your outer being, and community. Let's close our practice, joining in the chant that reminds us of how we're all interconnected. Sound of Om. Take a deep breath. Om. light in me that was to light in you. Namaste.